Way.
It's an old war photographer saying that everybody wants to get an image that'll stop war, but I don't think anybody's managed to do it yet.
I try not to think about the dangers all that much.
Welcome to In Harm's Way. Hi, I'm Hunter Ellis. Tonight, we're going to give you an unprecedented look into the harrowing lives of two freelance war photographers, Soraya and Alyssa. These two make their living putting their own lives on the line in war zones for images that best tell the stories of conflicts. As freelancers, despite all the physical danger they endure to get their photos, there is never any guarantee that their images will sell. Soraya and Alyssa have flown halfway around the world to Israel, a place where a centuries-old battle over land and ideology still rages today. They've come here in search of photographs that truthfully depict the state of the conflict. Photos that publications will only get to see if these two can survive being in harm's way.
I need to go to Nalin. Can you get me close? And I hear that in Nalin, there's been many problems.
They built a wall between, on the land there.
Press. We're here in the village of Nalin. There's an Israeli wall that's being constructed, and it's cutting off the locals from their crops. People's lives are affected here. So weekly they demonstrate, trying to voice their opposition to the wall. We're going to have the Palestinians with rocks. We're going to have the Israelis with, gas and bullets?
Well, usually the demonstrations start like stones from the Palestinian side with tear gas from the Israeli side.
They don't have any landmines here, eh?
The soldiers are over there.
So they hide most of them until something happens, and then everybody...
Yeah, you say after the parade that the old people are going home, and the people who want to fight, they are going there.
Dog, it's okay?
תגיד לי, אפשר לצלם, נכון? אפשר לצלם, נכון?
אפשר לצלם, אבל מיד לעבור לצד השני, כי אסור להיות.
Okay. Okay. We just allow the film. It's okay, no problem. When they start the problems, just ask us to move a little bit. Yes.
Sure,
Of course.
Thank you. So what do you have? This is gas?
Yeah.
What is in the back here?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
A spray.
Smelly.
Smelly or smell?
We heard this week they're extra angry because last week some soldiers used real bullets and killed 2 kids. You usually use rubber bullets, no?
Usually when someone dies, everybody's angry.
Are you expecting it to be bad today, or? I often tell people that I experience pre-traumatic stress disorder. There's a lot of things that can happen in war zones that you can't expect, and those are the things we worry about the most. We're definitely going to get gas today. We didn't bring onion either.
We just forget.
This is good.
There you go.
This is considered a peaceful protest, but one side making a move can instantly turn it violent. There's really no way of knowing what to expect. You just have to be ready for everything. There's a lot of people here that can be hurt and lose their lives, and it's my job to keep a cool head and do my best to document the situation. Judging from the people around me, there's definitely a chance that things could get bad here today.
In Harm's Way, Zoraya gets caught between the Israeli and Palestinian forces. And later, a full-blown assault in a Palestinian village has Alyssa running for her life.
I got it right in my eye.
You get the two sides, you got one throwing rocks, you got the other shooting gas. It's hard to know where to position yourself. It's a juggling act. Trying to get the photos, basically, and not get hit.
Hey guys, two guys.
I think we got him coming from this side, too. Yeah, the first thing you notice with tear gas is it chokes you. And then it gets in your eyes. The hard part is your eyes start watering and you can't see where to run. Your eyes instantly start burning, which makes it pretty hard to function. You're okay? What are you gonna do, just rub it on my face, or? We were just given by a young Palestinian woman some onion, which we use to cut the gas. It cuts the burning, which is a strange thing, because normally I hate the smell of onions, and it'll make me cry. It works. It cuts the burning almost immediately.
It's an old war photographer saying that everybody wants to get an image that'll stop war, but I don't think anybody has managed to do it yet. My name is Zoraya. I'm a photojournalist and conflict photographer, and I've been doing this job for 6 years. Now that I'm here in Jerusalem, I'll be contacting some local editors and trying to get a feel for what kind of stories they're interested in. It also gives me an idea of what's already been done here. If there's stories that are important here, they'll probably be interesting to the rest of the world. If there's something that's been done a million times here, then it might not be the subject to go about it. I'll be crossing into Gaza for a few days. Do you know what the situation, you know what the situation is like there? Yeah. One of the stories that I want to shoot there this time is the tunnels that cross into Egypt.
The main issue now that there are a few ministers that saying that we have to break the ceasefire because of those tunnels that are transferring lots of ammunition and explosives. There is an interest here, but journalists don't go to Gaza because it's too risky. Between 50 to 80% of the Gaza's men doesn't work. Most of the people are really poor. I mean, they suffered quite a lot from the siege and from the Hamas regime. Quite different than 7-8 years ago.
Photojournalism allows me to create my projects myself and go out into the world on my own. And if I fail, I only have one person to blame. And if I succeed, I can also, give myself a pat on the back because of that. And to me, it's a much better way to work and live.
My name is Alyssa Everett. I'm a photojournalist. I specialize in conflict zones. Here in Jerusalem, I'm going to meet with an Israeli editor. I'll show him my work, talk to him about where I'll be traveling, and hopefully return and show him what I have and see if he's interested in selling any of it. Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I want to show you some of my stuff and see if there was an opportunity to work together.
Wow. This is in Iraq, yeah?
Yeah.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Thank you.
You have a very good eye.
Thank you.
If you want to go to Gaza, it's very dangerous. You have to know how dangerous is it.
Well, I've been there back in 2002 during the Second Intifada. Is it more dangerous now?
First thing, they start to kidnap photographers. I cannot be guaranteed for your life there.
Right. As a freelance photographer, when I'm out in conflict areas, I don't have anyone that's going to come search for me and find me and get me out of a tough situation.
I don't think any picture's worth your life.
This is my most recent work from Iraq.
This one is amazing.
Photojournalism is an extremely competitive career. It's very difficult to get started. I remember an editor told me when I first started getting into the business that you had to prepare about 5 years of continuous working before you can expect to have images regularly published, and you should budget about 10 years before you can make a good living.
So much pain for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line, you know? It's always the people on the ground that have to live through the pain, not the people who make the decisions, you know? And that's, you know, very much what I want to show here. I think if any region shows the lasting effects of conflict, it's here.
I'm thinking about going to Siderat, an Israeli border village. It gets rocketed frequently.
Qassam rocket.
Uh-huh.
In a good day, you can do like very nice story there. It depends how many Qassam will fall down and where. If it's in the city, it's very easy to work. You just have to stay near the ambulance area and to follow them. Then you know everything.
And refugee camps?
It's sad, but it's make good images. If you connected very good in Gaza, it can help you. You need a driver, you need a fixer, you need this, you need that.
Right.
Don't be on the line of the bullets. With the Hamas government, I believe it's a little bit dangerous these days.
I'm not looking to get kidnapped.
At the end of the day, for myself, I see enough blood.
Yeah.
Like I see too much blood. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Save yourself, huh?
Thank you.
I look forward to see your work.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure meeting you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Later on In Harm's Way, Zariah's return to the front lines almost cost him his life. And coming up, Alyssa is taken to a secret location by armed militants. Zariah and Alyssa have successfully made it into Israel, and both have made good editorial contacts in Jerusalem. The conflict Zariah caught in the West Bank village of Naline produced some good images, despite his being gassed. But things are about to get really dicey for the both of them as they head into a hotly contested Palestinian-controlled 30-mile stretch of land in southern Israel known as the Gaza Strip.
Today we're in Gaza City in the beach camp, which is one of the world's longest standing refugee camps. People here living in very poor conditions. People cook outside. Kids usually are too poor to go to school. It's a very difficult life for these people. I think one of the difficult things about Gaza is it's a country that's walled inside. It's in a lot of ways similar to a prison camp. These people don't have options. They don't have the ability to just go out and find a job. They don't have the ability to just go to the store and buy food or take out a loan. They're really stuck and really dependent on other people in the international community to survive. It's a very difficult position, I would imagine, to be in. Right now I'm looking at martyr posters. These people were all killed in the fight against the Israeli Defense Forces. You see them posing with machine guns, rocket launchers. When someone dies here in the fight against Israel, it's considered an honor for their family. So we see posters like this all around town.
So this is Khan Yunis refugee camp, home to about 25,000 refugees. My best stories come to me by being open, not having an agenda, walking through the camp and discovering what comes to me. Assalamu alaikum.
The Israeli attack caused these 3 of my children injured.
Populations want to be heard. They want their story to be told. I'm photographing one of the old settlement walls. This is a pathway for Israeli tanks. And they cleared this area so that Gazans couldn't send rockets over the wall into their settlement. Assalamu alaikum.
To my left is Egypt. There used to be a border line that runs just several feet away. It was blown down when Hamas came into power.
20 years ago, 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 20 ye
When suicide bombers detonated themselves in Israel, Israeli tanks would come down this strip and fire at these buildings. This is a Palestinian apartment building. It's still inhabited by many families. It's just riddled with bullet holes. Israel would bring its tanks and weapons in and fire directly on these houses.
These attacks are usually retaliatory attacks after a suicide bombing. They show how broad the revenge is. People still live in this building. You can see their curtains. There's practically no walls left, but they still have laundry hanging. It never ceases to amaze me what people live through and continue to live in.
To me, this is the most important side of conflict, is how everyday people are affected and how their lives are changed forever by what goes on around them.
Visiting El Wafa Hospital in Gaza City is something I did 2 years ago, and I wanted to return.
This hospital is located right across from the Israeli border, and not only does it take care of a lot of patients that are injured in fighting, it also gets hit by the Israeli fire often.
I met a young man who was a triple amputee. He was injured 4 months ago when he was walking home from school, and a missile landed near him. They had to amputate his right and left leg, one of his arms, and his other arm has 2.5 fingers left on it. And he's struggling to learn how to live and to pick up the pieces.
And he was kind enough to let me photograph him, which I'm sure is not comfortable. I think one of the reasons is he needs prosthetics. He needs a way to walk, he needs a way to use one of his hands, and he feels that my pictures might bring light on his situation and might help him.
I think a lot of war photographers only go for the action shots and only go for the chaos and the blood.
But there's different ways of telling stories that are just as powerful. The fighting lasts a few minutes, but the rest of his life has changed. It's not just the dropping of a bomb, it's altering people's lives. It's altering his family's life, who will have to care for him for as long as they live. It's very difficult. And they do this every time he needs to go to the hospital. He has physical therapy almost every day. The family has sacrificed everything to help, their brother, their son get through this attack. Is it possible to see how your brother helps you? I think a lot of people would argue about my job. Does it change anything? Does it do anything? But I believe it can. I believe if people really understand and know the hardships people go through in war zones and what it's like for them, there's no way you can see that and not be affected by it.
Been invited to a training by Islamic Jihad. They're showing some of the strength of their weapons. RPGs, 50 cals. We're in a field. We've been told not to photograph any of the surrounding buildings, anything that would be identifiable to any of the other militant groups in the area. Work does take me to dangerous areas. I have been in situations where I've felt a little bit nervous. I don't feel like photojournalists are a target, but sometimes you're embedded with a group that is a target, hence making you a target. As a photojournalist, I often work alone, but there are definitely events that multiple journalists are there, and there's a community.
Get anything good?
Got some stuff. How about you? We all know that we're on the same team.
The most dangerous aspects of photojournalism are the variables, the things that you can't actually predict. There's been plenty of conflict photographers who have been killed when they weren't the target. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Those are the things we worry about the most. Even though I spend a lot of time in areas like this, there's always moments that can be a bit scary and masked. men with guns can be disconcerting. Feels good to come out of there, doesn't it?
Next on In Harm's Way, Zariah's fate hangs by a thread to get a story in the Gaza Strip. And later,
Someone's been hit.
when a protest turns bloody, Alyssa and Zariah put their own lives on the line.
Covering a situation like Gaza, I absolutely feel it's important to understand what's happening on the other side in Israel. I'm going to be visiting a village to the north of Gaza, on the other side of the Gazan border, to talk to the locals there about what it's like to have rockets being launched into your village. Get a little bit nervous, it's a little unpredictable, I haven't been here before. Once I get there, I get very focused on what I want to get, reading the situation and staying as clear of the dangers as possible.
Ella, because she was 17 when she got killed, and she was with her little brother, and they heard the alarm system working, and she was just lying down on him to protect him. She was needed to be killed to protect her young brother. Kids in the city, before they say mom or dad, they're learning to say Tseva Adom, red color, the red color system.
And when you have the warning system, how much time do you have?
15 seconds, it can be less. We had days that we had more than 50 rockets a day.
Wow.
Even now, when it's ceasefire, we know that a rocket, Qassam rocket, can hit any second. We're scared.
Okay, all these rockets come from Gaza.
It's a lot of rockets. How do the citizens of Sderot live with this constant threat?
It's difficult for us to walk all the time in this, to see the blood, to see children, the angels, and sometimes to see the dates. And this is the life in Israel.
Do you think you will continue this job?
If I continue?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Forever?
Yes, of course.
Until peace?
Peace? I pray for that.
I've come to Rafah in the southern Gaza Strip. There's an intricate tunnel system that lies right below my feet. These tunnels are extremely dangerous. People die in them daily. 3 people died yesterday. The tunnel that I was going to visit today collapsed this morning, and we had to arrange a new tunnel. It's extremely dangerous, but it's important to document because people risk their lives to bring goods over from Egypt, which is right across the border from us. It's okay to shoot here?
Yeah.
It's okay? Taken to a small building that looks like pretty much any building in the area, and upon entering there's a square hole in the floor and it drops down a good 100 feet. As a photojournalist, there's always going to be people that are unsure of your intention. People think we might be a spy. There's food and medicine and all kinds of other things across these tunnels, but also weapons. So for the Israelis, it would benefit them to be able to find these locations. So the people you work with all have agendas and they all have fears that, you know, you may potentially benefit them, you may potentially hurt them. And they were very, very concerned that if their faces were shown, that they could be killed or their area could be blown up. It can be very dangerous because if people think that you're actually working for the other side in a conflict, it puts you in really great danger.
I would like to go down now.
ما راح اخليه يصورك. جوزني ما راح اخليه يصورك.
At first they said, no, absolutely not, because it's just impossible. And after a few minutes of explaining my reasons for being there, they said, okay, we'll let you, take a picture of the top of the tunnel and just down. And I said, I want to go in and crawl through a little bit. And they said, we'll let you go.
shoot this person.
Okay. 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 Here, okay. Okay, شكرا. شكرا. You actually feel the oxygen kind of going out of your lungs as you go into the earth, and you're basically just kind of dropping into black. And when you hit the bottom, you're also trying to keep an eye on what's going on around you. Is this tunnel about to collapse? If it is going to collapse, is there anything I can do, or do you just hold your breath and wait for it to happen? Most photojournalists will insure their cameras before they insure their bodies. It gets harder and harder every year to make money, and there's a lot of us, including myself, who do this without insurance, and we really keep our fingers crossed that nothing happens. It's extremely hard to think about risking your life for something that might not have a meaning or might not help people, but once you're on the ground, I don't think worrying does any good. It's more important to concentrate on your safety. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to constantly know what's going on. And there's a million things that occupy your mind when you're actually in the situation. And oftentimes, once you've left the situation, it hits you later. They went part of the wall. 1 minute. Later, you realize that it was actually dangerous and it was scary, and that can be unsettling.
عفواً صديق، شو اسمك؟ نالين. شكراً. I'm going to photograph a village of Na'alin that has had a protest against the wall. It's a situation that can be violent. You have Israeli forces as well as angry protesters. I think it's important to cover this protest. The dangers aside, I think it's very important to document, and I have to put aside the danger. تمام. شكراً. تمام. أيوة. شكراً. مع السلامة. مع السلامة.
وإياكم ومحدثات الأمور فإن كل بدعة ضلالة رواه أبو داود والترمذي.
When I got there, I found an eerily quiet village. There were no women and no children wandering around. There were only young males, mid-teens to mid-40s perhaps, a few elderlies, but really not at all. It's very uncommon in a village anywhere to find no women or children wandering the streets. It suggested to me that things were tense, and they were.
Coming up on In Harm's Way, the clash between Israeli and Palestinian forces takes a horrible turn for Alyssa and Zariah.
Someone's been hit. We're here in the village of Na'alin. Every week there's a protest here. There's a Israeli wall that's being constructed right behind us, and it's cutting off the locals from their crops. So weekly they demonstrate trying to voice their opposition to the wall. This is usually a pretty chaotic environment. Several people are killed here every year. There's tear gas, there's different types of liquid gas, we have stone throwing, there's a number of different things that you encounter here, but it's an extremely important thing to cover because people's lives are affected here, and this is, kind of the heart of some of the issues of the conflict that go on here from both sides.
I went into this protest expecting there to be some violence. The day prior, actually, they had held another protest, and 11 people had been shot. So I knew that things were going to be a little bit more heated.
Judging by the number of Israeli soldiers and the number of Palestinian protesters here, things can go in a negative direction quickly. I'm expecting for sure to be gassed today. There's rocks that are always flying, which can be extremely dangerous. So both sides present different dangers. I think the preparation for an event like this comes long before it. You just have to be calm. You have to try to be aware of what's going on around you.
Extra bandanas to protect against the tear gas, making sure that I'm well rested, making sure that I can run if I need to.
The difficulty comes in trying to document the images and also remain safe and also, not present any other difficulties for the people around you. All right, let's go find out what's going on. There's definitely a lot of movement, which in this type of situation, you want to follow what's going on and make sure you're aware. I instantly heard bullets ricocheting off the trees. I knew immediately that it was bullets and not the usual tear gas or spray gas that they use.
Tear gas canisters landing all around you and people running and screaming and Palestinians picking up stones and throwing them. Oh, that's a bullet. And instantly, chaos breaks out. My job is to turn around and photograph what's happening to the best of my ability.
You have so many different things going on around you, and you have to really pay attention to what's going on, both for your own safety and for the safety of the people around you, and also to do the work, to do your job and to document well.
I was just looking to cover the conflict. I was hoping to get more of the Israeli side. Go, 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 go. And they were having none of that. Keep going. Down the road, keep going. When I'm in the moment, I'm not really thinking about the physical danger. I'm strategically thinking about where shots are coming from and listening for them.
I climbed down from the area that seemed to be getting direct fire, I was told that someone was just hit, and upon approaching, I saw that a local journalist, an Israeli man, had been shot, and, it seemed fairly serious.
He was extremely scared for his own safety, and as was everyone else. There was still tear gas canisters flying from the other side and rocks from the Palestinian side. It was an incredibly dangerous situation. It's always extremely difficult when you see a fellow journalist get injured or killed, because it brings home how dangerous this actually is, and it's a constant reminder that sometimes is easier to want to forget.
This was a very dangerous situation. An Israeli journalist was shot, and the bullet penetrated, and he was rushed off in an ambulance.
Someone's been hit. Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
There are reminders all around here for me about how dangerous it is. I always have to remind myself that I can only do my job if I'm alive, and you have to take care of yourself. You have to be careful.
Next on In Harm's Way.
This is inside the tunnel.
Zariah and Alyssa dust themselves off and limp back to Jerusalem to try and sell their photos.
This is from Gaza?
For all the near misses and occasional hits Zariah and Alyssa suffered in Israel over the past 2 weeks, there is still one huge piece of unfinished business. Did they actually get photographs that will sell? Zariah and Alyssa have returned to Jerusalem to see if their efforts were worth all the blood, sweat, and tear gas they poured into their photos.
Hey!
Hi. Yeah,
Let's see your
let me show you
stuff.
some stuff. How have things been here?
It was very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good thing sometimes. There we go.
This is from Gaza?
These are from Gaza.
This is nice.
This is in Khan Yunis. This is the refugee camp.
Wow. This is a beautiful picture.
Thank you.
Very nice. This is the hospital.
This is the rehabilitation hospital. This hospital was recently shot. A tank rolled up right outside and had fired all across. And that's where obviously the bullets had gone in. This was my first time shooting this particular incident, and the Israelis launched off just a barrage of tear gas canisters. They went everywhere. Everybody was running, and we got gassed pretty bad.
This is very powerful pictures.
I tried to get across. The Israelis wouldn't let me.
Really?
No. This is just prior to when the journalist was shot.
And you photographed the journalist wounded?
I did. I did make some photographs of that, and then was following him. I was able to follow him all the way to the other side.
So I think we can use a few of your pictures, and these pictures can be the opening pictures on our site.
Thank you. Thank you for your time as well.
Thank
it's great
you.
to meet you.
Hi.
Malik, how are you?
Back.
Thank you.
Good to have you back.
Thank you. I brought some things to show you.
Let's watch it. Was it difficult?
Yeah, it was a little difficult, but most of it got worked out, so.
Let's see.
This is, I need to re-edit
Inside the
this,
tunnel.
but inside the tunnel, yeah.
Yeah, impressive.
They don't want their faces to be
It's quite
seen.
rare to get picture from inside the tunnel.
Yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult to get access.
Was it scary?
Yeah, it's a scary place. I can't imagine working every day, you know?
It is.
So I was able to go to the protests in Nalin twice. This was supposedly the first time they used this liquid spray on the crowd.
Heard about it.
I was lucky. I got to be #1 for the test on this. Yeah. This was the most recent protest. It was quite a lot of gas that they used. This time they had a vehicle that shot.
Oh, really?
Must have been 30 at once, and everybody goes crazy.
This one is really interesting. This one is good also.
He either got a bullet in the head or maybe a rock, but it took a good chunk right off the top of his head.
This one is amazing.
Yeah.
It's rare that a foreign journalist or photographer gets into Gaza, and the pictures from Gaza are really good. So I believe that we can use one of the pictures. We open it with the first page of the newspaper. Yeah. It is important. So I'm really happy that you've managed to go in there.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
Great work.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
اليوم الكيلو حقه 50 شيكل.
I don't travel to places that are unsafe to go to places that are unsafe. I travel there because I feel incredibly passionate about being a voice for those who have no voice. It's the people that make every situation for me. And I learn a lesson from each of these people that I meet. I learn something about just being human. I love my job. I do. I can't imagine another way of living.
We believe in what we do as photojournalists. We believe that it can have a change, and we believe in taking whatever risks and making whatever sacrifices are necessary to do it. If people really understand and know the hardships people go through in war zones and what it's like for them, there's no way you can see that and not be affected by it.
Most of us are happy if our work gets seen because we think that it will help change the lives of the people we photograph. That's the only reason we go risk our lives, is because we believe in it.
Ryan and Alyssa returned to the United States feeling good about the stories they were able to tell. Their downtime was short-lived, though, as there's plenty of work in the world for these two intrepid war photographers. We wish them luck and a safe return. Thank you for watching. I'm Hunter Ellis. See you next time on In Harm's Way.